Hey Dan, how you doing tonight, buddy? All right, so this is the deal. I'm only going to be on here for a little bit because I got a few other things to do, but I want to jump on here tonight to do some fun stuff. So let's see how this whole thing goes. Um, so the goal is this is a piece that I'm going to be working on for somebody I know, one of my clients. I have been back and forth crazily for a while now and trying to figure out how to make this work. So the deal is I'm going to see if I can you guys see that pretty good? For some reason it's just not in focus. That's weird. I'm gonna have to probably pull that back a little bit. Yeah, there we go. A little bit better. Sorry, I got it over my ring light. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do that. That way I get some good color on there. It works. All right, so there we go. Things look a lot better. Okay, so here's the deal. So I have this piece. It's going to be an 11 by 17 comic book page that I'm going to be working on. However, um, a lesson to be learned for anybody that's a new artist or somebody that's been doing art for a while. Um, you run into this problem where you get used to using a certain tool too much, and it kind of throws off how you transition into the actual medium that you're going to work on. So, for example, in this one, I usually do a lot of my mock-ups on Procreate or SketchUp app on my tablet, only because it's a little bit easier, it's quicker. If I mess up, I can just go ahead and put on a new layer. However, that tends to like mess up the process and when I'm doing some stuff. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to utilize this massive drawing pad and I'm gonna really just kind of hone in what I want to do. So you can see like I've done stuff here previously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to um, just kind of flesh out how I want to design these characters. And I'll just put you guys some of the stuff in here. So take a lot of notes. This is a painting I did of a dragon, very Dragon Ball Z inspired. So you can see some other pieces and that I did for that. Just trying to get the flow of understanding how the dragon would flow. Anyway, going back to this pad, um I'm going to utilize this to give me the same kind of perspective and size that I have on the comic book page. And my goal is tonight, within this next like 45 minutes or so to an hour, is to really kind of figure out what poses I want to do. And the subject matter for this piece is going to be the Sinister Six. Now, the Sinister Six characters that are on tap are not the original six, but this is an adjusted version of it. This is going to be Venom, Doc Ock, Electro, Craven, Mysterio, and Green Goblin. So, how you doing there, Greg? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to again try to figure out what I want to do on this page. Um, Now, here's the other part to this that I haven't said. Um, for this particular project, I'm not drawing all the characters. I'm only drawing one of them. This gentleman is actually commissioning multiple artists to do multiple characters in it, which I think is really cool. However, I get to do the whole entire like layout for it. So I want to kind of figure out how, to really project this and get the most out of every character. Um, I'm still leaning towards either Doc Ock or Venom for my character that I want to do. So I really want to make them stand out the best I possibly can. So um, if I'm trying to kind of figure it out, I'm gonna let me make sure I got this is like in the video. All right. So, do I want to have like Venom here? in the foreground because this is going to determine if how I want to set this up. Because Venom's going to have that huge chest. And then we have the hand and these really wacky fingers. And I'm just kind of like fleshing out what I want to do. Do I want to have that nice what is it like the um was it Street Fighter versus Capcom where Venom was in there? And he would do that "Rawr," that kind of thing where you get those hands out like that. Do I want to do something like that? Because my thing is I really like, Venom, I really like to have that really gruesome mouth that he's known for having. Um, I might have to switch pencils. Sorry, guys. Um, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use that same pencil and I'm gonna go straight to my red pencil lead. That's what I'm gonna do. Gotta love this red pencil lead. It's good stuff. Like I said, I'm just trying to flesh this out tonight, and then hopefully, if I get some time later on this evening, I'm gonna do another stream, and then I'll start getting the actual piece done, and I'll ink it up, so that way nobody can go over my stuff, which is kind of cool. And then I can send this out. My goal is to get this sent out this weekend. Um, all right, so we have Venom. Let's see. We could do like a Venom head here. So this will represent the head. I'm gonna go really big with the traps. So when I think of Venom, I think of Eddie Brock, but on massive steroids. So a mix between Eddie Brock and um a Bane. So I just see muscles on top of muscles. So maybe I don't have to show the entire character if I don't want to. I feel like that's a cop out though. But I do want to kind of get these shapes in place so I can kind of see what he's going to look like. So I have that. And then I can always go over it. Let me see, do I have a pen in here that I can use? Yeah, I got this 8 that I'm going to use. No, you know what? 8's too big. It's way too big. To figure out how to get that other shadow off of here because I don't know why that does that like that. It's weird. No matter where I put it, it's always going to give you that weird shadow. I don't like that. Better? No. I go back to where I was. Okay. Anyway. Oops, let me go back there. Okay. So I have a multi-liner, a Copic multi-liner. And again, this is going to be used just to kind of define some of these areas. And I'm blocking this in. I think I might put the mouth in there. I don't like that multi-liner. That one's a little off. The nib is kind of messed up on that one. Thank goodness for this guy. This is my bread and butter. I love using this thing. So when I go to conventions and stuff like that, I have it. Let's stay here. We'll just take a look at this 4. Let's go to work. Okay, so this will be the mouth. So we'll get all these teeth in here. Get this tongue, just nasty tongue. I was talking to a buddy of mine a couple of weeks ago, my buddy over at Berserk Comics, the owner John, and he and I were talking about Venom. And I believe when I was talking to him, and again, I'm paraphrasing what he and I were talking about, but he's not really a huge fan of like the Eric Larson style of Venom. And don't go for him, guys. Don't come at his neck. It's not cool. Um, but his thing was, the Eric Larson one is not what he it's not really his flavor. And that's okay. That version of Venom to me was my introduction because I didn't see the Todd McFarlane one until after. So I got into Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man around 354. It was Cardiac, Rhino, Spider-Man, that book I bought at a B. Dalton bookstore. I'll never forget it. I still have that comic book to this day, and that thing is worn out, so I got to get another copy. But anyway, when I first saw Venom, I remember seeing these just really cool poses that Eric Larson put him into. He just seemed like that character that was just a pain in the ass to Peter Parker, but I think that was cool. Um, however, he was just like gnarly looking. And for me, I thought that was cool because it gave that frightening kind of look to him that most people are not fans of. I am. And I think for him, he's just like, yeah, it's just not my thing. And that's cool because all this stuff is subjective. I mean, some people are going to like it, some people are not. Right. And that's not a big deal. It's good to have differences of opinion because then you get to kind of tell your side of it, what you think about it. And the other person doesn't mean that their opinion's wrong. Just means that, you get to see something a little different. So good to see you guys up on here. Really, really cool. If you don't mind, if you are on the channel, please share this so that way people can see what's going on. Um, I do have some specials going on right now. They are not posted on the channel. Oh, sorry, on the store. But I will let you know this: if you see those cards that are on there that I put on there, the 4x6s, those things you get. It's a 2-for-1. You buy one, you get a second one for free, and it's a rando. So definitely take stock in that. All right, I'm gonna post this quick thing real quick, guys, here, so that way people can kind of know what's going on. Let me see. Let's take a picture of this guy here, and then we're gonna start working on the other people. Oh no, not now. All right, hang on one sec. Let me see here. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Something got messed up here. I don't know why. Select that. Sorry, it's got to delete a couple things, and then we're ready to rock and roll. All right, so let's take a picture of this bad boy. Um, well, let's see what we can do. Oh, hang on. I see what's messing everything up. Let me go in here. I hate not to be drawing while I'm on a cast. That's horrible. So I apologize. Apologize greatly, guys. Hopefully this should get us going. Yeah, there we go. Boom. All right, let me put that out there. We go get the whatnot link, and then we're good to go. So everybody knows where you're at, where we're at. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna only gonna be doing this for just a little bit longer. Let me copy that. Copy. Let's see here. Boom. All right, put that up there. That sticker on there. Mm, cool. And then one more. This will be quick. See if I can get one of these gifts that check it out. All right, cool. We're good. We're ready to rock and roll. All right, so that is good. And you go to my page right now. Boom. What's this thing? All right, cool. Now we're done. All right, so let's go and jump on this. So we have Venom right there. He's looking really cool. Super duper simple. I don't know why I want to go too crazy, but I want to keep it easy. Um, just to kind of get a feel for the character. For those of you that follow me on this stuff, what I typically do is I'll do a warm up sketch for my work, kind of just getting the creative juices flowing. Um, but what I want to do is I really want to get my layout going and get that pushing. So I think what I'm going to do for this, I think I'm going to try a Doc Ock, like right here. I'm going to put him right here. Probably, let's see. So if he's down here, I can get, I'm going to go like this. Go here. I'm going to go classic Doc Ock with that bowl cut. I'll give him his glasses. There we go. Get this right here. Because he's never really happy. I think I'm going to modify the his traditional suit. We'll have him kind of like this. His arms are like typically here. But what we want to definitely do is the articulation really comes from the we want to have like the attitude coming from his claws or from the octopus arms. That's what I want to do. And then these are kind of like lifting him up, like he's able to walk with them. And let me move this up so we can kind of see what's going on here. I definitely got to work on getting a better camera because I don't like what's going on here. I don't like that light issue. Okay. Okay. All right. I think this is going to work for him. And again, this is I'm just trying to block in kind of like what I want to do. This is not going to be uber detailed. I don't want to I'm not trying to get all my stuff out now. I just want to get it looking right. I feel like if somebody, commissions me to do something, I want to give them something good. And with this gentleman, I've been really trying to figure out what I wanted to do with it for a while. It's taken a lot of time because it's not easy when you're trying to draw six people and you really want them to pop. Um, but I think I've kind of figured out what I want to do. But I'm just again getting this on paper is definitely going to make my life a little bit easier because then I'm able to get a really good feel for perspective, um, and proportions. That's huge. For those of you that are artists, I don't know how many of you that are on here. Let me see who do I got on there. All right, dog. I see you, buddy. Nice to see you guys up on the good old chat. Very very cool to see you guys on there. So I'm probably gonna cut out of here in about 30 minutes or so, just so you guys know. But I'm gonna try to come on back so I can get the my version of whichever of these two characters I want to do done and figured out on that paper, and then get them inked tonight. That's my goal. All right. So again, with Doc Ock, I want to kind of figure out the design that I want to use, and again, get those proportions right. Back to what I was saying in reference to having that tangible piece. The reality is that when you don't use your skills on a specific medium that you like using, like in my case, I'm trying to get back to using pen and paper because I really like being able to touch something. Uh, Digital is nice. I think it's good and it's simple and it alleviates a lot of stress because you're not trying to, go through reams and reams of paper. However, I think having those mistakes in a hard form, in a physical form, says something about the work that you're doing. It lets you really make those mistakes, and after you start building that little collection of papers that you're frustrated with and that you balled up, it definitely helps with the um what's the word I'm looking for, with the confidence to start making some cool work. So don't be afraid to, go back to your roots. Don't be afraid, period, to start using pen and paper. Don't get reliant on just one medium. I mean, I love using the iPad. I really do. I think it's convenient. It's a good way to store all that information. But I've really I realized, and more so in the last couple of months, because I've been cleaning out the garage and pulling out some of my old um, drawing pads. I've found that I've missed drawing on paper. There is so much to be said about seeing your work on that medium. Um, it's so weird because then you can kind of see the way that you've grown as an artist. I feel like digital, you don't get that same kind of feeling. I mean, the other part to it is that when you draw on paper, you can kind of see how your art changes. For example, like when I went back here and I looked at stuff like this, I can see how the difference in my quality of work has changed over the years. And this stuff was done, I think, about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Um, but I can see the difference in the work, and I like that. Digital, yes, you can see it, but I don't think you can feel it as much as you can see it. So, all right. See how I'm changing my flow here. It's looking good. So that tube needs to go and turn. You got to keep consistency with these things because that tube could have gone wrong really fast. So, I think he looks really good. Looking good. Perfect. I think that's a good looking Doc Ock, man. That's dope. I think he looks really, really fun. So the question is, who do I do? Which one of these characters do I attempt for this piece? And then the other part that I have to do is I got to kind of figure out. Okay, well, I got Doc Ock, but I also got to figure out how I'm going to make these other five people come together and make it look very cohesive. So I'm going to work on that now, kind of figure out that piece. I have an idea, but I'm going to go through and just double check, make sure. All right, let's see here. Just going to grab my reference. I think we're going to pull this off. Where? You ever been looking for something and you just can't find it? It's frustrating. Yeah. All right, I think with Doc Ock, and I'm going to go over to this side of the paper now. I think what I'm going to do is I want to have, because Doc Ock's going to be the villain in this. So let's get paper size, right? So we kind of know what we're looking at, and we're going to do a couple of these. Okay. I have my size of paper, and let's see here. All right, so we're gonna go here. Just trying to get a gauge on this. All right. So I think if we put Doc Ock right here, we'll make him very big. We'll make him fill the paper. I'll have him back like this. That doesn't fit, doesn't move like that. So, all right. Give him a little bit of a belly. He is not muscular, so that's definitely not going to happen. So we got him there like that. I'm going to, I think what we'll do is we'll give him the lip here like that. And again, I'm just trying to kind of work this out. So if I don't like it, I can always change it. All right. We got the bowl cut for him. Okay, like that. It's pretty simple. And then we're going to come around and we're going to, I think, get what if I have him like holding the Spider-Man? Do I do that? No. It's not good for a Sinister Six color. We're just going to show them off. We're showcasing them, not anything else. But I do want to have his claw, kind of like it's a hand, right? Want to have that up, and maybe I could put the hand here, so like it's mimicking his motion, like mimicking what he wants to do. Let me. So his hand has to be here. This is going to be his right hand. So here, I know I'm making these like little nubs. My hands get better as I go further along. So if you don't like them, sorry, it will get better. So that's good. And then we'll have the octopus arm here. And I'm just gonna, for reference, I think I'm just gonna put these in here just like this. I think we'll do that. Okay. I think that looks good. All right. So that's a simple part of that character. Okay. And since I want to have like Venom and all of them in here, I'm gonna put them in here. So Venom could be right here because he's gonna be this like, so sorry. Like he'll be here. Get that mouth wide open here. Head, mouth, get that body here. I will probably have to shrink this down a little bit, but get those two characters in place. All right, let me get a little bit. I need a little bit of inspiration music here. Love listening to music while I'm drawing because it gets the vibe going. Mm, you don't want it that loud. That's very loud. All right. No. All right. So we got him there. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a card with what my concept is to this guy, and he can send it off with the people that are drawing it so they can kind of have a better idea. Oh, this is looking good. Trying to get all these muscles and everything in here. So he's got that light coming in there. He's got this muscle here. And I know I don't have the spider on him, but that's okay. Not a big deal. All right, he's looking really good. this version of him. He looks so good. I think this is going to come together really good. All right, we're looking good on time. I think next week's going to be really cool. I'm gonna get back to my giveaways. I still I have a couple things left on my plate for people. Um, I know that I have to finish doing the inks for that cable, and I got to get that guy out really quickly for one of my clients. Um, the first person who ever bought anything um, on here on Whatnot, so I'm very thankful for that. So I got to take care of him, make sure he gets something really dope. Okay. I think that's gonna be great. That's perfect. All right, so we got that. So we have Venom here. And I think for Craven, he's the hunter, right? Craven's got a. I don't think a Craven would. So he's got more of this, not ominous presence, but he's got a very strong. I wouldn't even say aggressive. I would say more like commanding presence. So I'm gonna try to express that in this piece as well. He's got like it's more regal. I don't know if any of you got a chance to see that Craven movie. I really think that movie could have been better. It's frustrating because they had a really good actor and Aaron Taylor Johnson, and I think they wasted him. It's a bad movie. I mean, his performance overall really solid. I would say that out of all the things in there, he was my the least issue in there. The biggest problem was just poor story writing or storytelling. Just horrible storytelling. Okay. I hate when people do crappy stories and really like put more effort into what they're doing. Why are you going to half step when you're doing something like that? Bring your A game. Even if you got a crappy movie, you really got to look at it and be like, do I want to let people remember my movie as this? And I don't think the director thought that his movie was bad, but the movie was bad. Just horribly bad. I mean, just it was so bad it was almost unwatchable. I mean, I saw the movie all the way through only because I just want to kind of see what was going to go on. And when I saw Rhino, I was talk about disappointed. I don't think I've been that frustrated in a movie since Morbius. And Morbius was it was actually unwatchable for me. I think I made it through the first act of Morbius, and then I was just done with that movie. If it hadn't been for Aaron Taylor Johnson, I don't think I could have watched the rest of that movie. I liked him in Kick Ass. I really definitely liked him in Avengers, even though I wish he had a bigger role, but I did like him in there. Okay, so we got those two. Oh, sorry, those three. All right. Those three looking good. And then who else we got? We got Doc Ock, Venom, Electro. I hate when my pencils don't work. That's not frustrating. Why am I the pencil? It's up here. So I want to make so Electro has he's obviously got the power, right? Give him that big sinister smile. But I think again, this is just a concept. I mean, I'm already seeing things that I want to change in it. Okay. I don't know if you guys are in Florida or not, but it is storming like crazy right now. All right, so he's got that big smile, and we're gonna give him those. That. And I got to figure out a way so that way I get that crazy headdress that he has, make that pop out. And then Mysterio, I don't know. Mysterio is going to be a tough one in this one, this layout. I don't know if this layout's going to be conducive to that. So we still have to get Hobgoblin or Green Goblin in here. Maybe I should have Green Goblin come through here. This come through here like this. I just don't know how I want to pull that off, but we'll figure that part out. And then, of course, we got a Mysterio in there. But that's just a general layout for one of them. That's a basic one. So it's very stagnant. So for me, it's not really popping off the way I like it. Um, so it's good to have these starter pieces to go with. I want my pictures to have energy. I really, really do. So I need focal points. That's the thing. So do I want to have them all bursting out? Do I want to have them um what do I want to have them do? That's the part that I gotta think about. So the focal point could be, and I'm just gonna throw this out here. So I could have Doc Ock right here, right? Nose up. So nose is gotta be this way. Have him here. Have him be the focal. And you know what I could do? I could use his arms to separate everything. So I have one, two, three, four, right? But I'm going to need a fifth spot. And what I could do is that I could take one of the arms, have it come around like this, like right here. And that'll give me my fifth spot. So I'll have one, two, three, four, five. I think that might be a cool thing. I've never seen that done before, so this could be a cool one for me. I'm gonna try it and see how what I if I like it. So that way it breaks it up. And you know what? I think I have seen this done before, but I have never done it, so I'm gonna try it myself. So if I look think of like the Infinity War cover, it's kind of like that. It's very similar to that. Let's see what can I do here. So I can kind of pull the could do a play on that. I don't remember who did the cover for that. I know the cover. I know it well. When I'm talking about the cover, I'm talking about the Infinity War cover. I mean, so many people have redone that in their own designs, whether it be Marvel themselves or other folks. Um, a lot of people have used that design, that layout. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty damn awesome. Yeah, tonight was a very big impromptu. And I was gonna do this at 9 o'clock, but I got some time earlier, so I figured why not just jump on here now. I'm gonna start doing these more often, where I'm doing it outside of my regular times. So for those of you that are here on online right now, and thank you for that for the ones that I do see on there. I typically do this on Wednesday nights around 10:30. However, I had an adjustment in my schedule where I could not be online last night, so um, that's not a big issue. It's not a big deal. But typically, I will stay on there on those Wednesday nights. But I think I might adjust that so I can come in a little bit earlier and on a different day. I just have to figure out what that's going to look like and make that happen because I think doing earlier times I think works a lot better for some people. So I've been told. Oops, let me get his nose right. All right, jack it all up. So I think I'm going to definitely make that happen. All right. Got some people liking the good old story about me being live. Well, the cool part is I'm gonna take all these pieces. I'm gonna post all this stuff up online so that way people can kind of see the concepts. Kind of liking this, but I'm kind of not. And I'm gonna give this thing one more pass as far as ideas wise, and then I'm going in hard on this. All right, so now that gives me the option to put Venom here, which I like. That gives me like Mysterio, which I didn't get a chance to draw before. I'm gonna draw him now. So Mysterio with a bowl head. Give him like control Mysterio and so on. It's not, you know how you just don't draw a character for a while, you kind of forget how to freaking draw him. So anyway, give him that hand that's the hand going out like that. That'll be cool. That's good. I like that. And then here I can have the opposing because he's going to be facing this way, and then I can have the goblin because I really like having the goblin with the mouth wide open and laughing. I really want him to have that joy about do something really horrible. So here, and then for him, since he's got his hand out like that, I could have this guy with the jack o' lanterns. So he could have one of the jack o' lanterns here, like that. And then that way, yeah, that way I could have Venom here, but Venom doesn't have to have, like, he can be little here. Or I can have him like massive. Have the mouth open. If I wanted to. Just gonna have to figure that one out. Right. So if I was to have his head here, actually, like if I have his head here, I don't usually go this deep in my mock-ups. It's kind of cool. I mean, walking somebody through what I do. I think that's really neat being able to see that. I like it. I think it looks really cool. Hey guys, good to see you up on the stream. Really, really good to see you on the stream. Probably be up here for like another couple minutes. And like I said, I'm probably going to come back on a little bit later on. So if you're up, please, I would love to have you on here. All right. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So I won't make his head like super duper big. So something like that for him. Probably have him really big, but put him right here. So I got to bet him here. And maybe what I can do is instead of having Doc Ock like this, I could kind of have him here. Like say this is him. He's got his head up like this. Kind of have him turn the other way. I'm thinking have him here. But you only get the upper chest of him. I think we'll do like black here and black on this side. Give him a black neck here. That'll be cool. And almost like his arms are behind him a little bit. What do I got there? The mic. How you doing there, buddy? Thanks for joining the stream. I think this is where we're gonna see that thing come to life. So I think this will work. So this would go here. And then I'd have to figure out what I'm gonna put here as far as like Craven. So I could put Craven over here, and then Electro will go over here. So I'm thinking like Electro could be like having his fingers lit up, but definitely have something wild and crazy for each of the characters. Like if I was gonna do I want I like having that crazier version of the Hobgoblin. or sorry, Green Goblin. So you have him here. He's got the jack o' lantern, right? So here, we'll put a finger there. But I really want to have that sinister smile there. He's got these jagged teeth. Give him that little bit of nose. And he's got the hat. And mine, I'm really inspired by the Humberto Ramos version of him, where he's got the longer cap. But maybe if I do, like maybe he's like holding it from a different, like you palm a basketball, so that way you can actually see the jack o' lantern. I think that's what I'm gonna do, so I get a better version of that. So maybe he's got his hand here, but he's holding it from the top. Or maybe he has a bag of them and you can see the whole bag. And then I want to put a pin, like the Spider-Man pin on here. So I think that would be cool. So this would be my Green Goblin or Gobby. So I think that'll work. So I just got to kind of flesh out what I want to do for each one of them. And then I will go ahead and start rendering this guy down. But I think this is the one I'm going to do. I think I'm going to stick with Doc Ock because he's a little different. It's not like the norm. And I think that's where we're going to go. So this is where we are going to cut this off, guys. It has been great having you tonight. I'm going to try to plan for another one, hopefully later on tonight. If not, I'm going to try to do one in the morning and get this. This is the goal: is to get this paper and get the characters on this and making it look just fire. So thank you for all that joined in. I wish it was a little more interactive, and I know this was last minute, but in the future, just make sure keep an eye on the shop. Also keep an eye on the times, and I should have a new schedule coming out here very soon, and then hopefully we'll have some more casts. But guys, have a great night. Thanks for coming, and I will talk to you a little bit later. That's all right. Oops. Sorry, guys. I'm in the cast, but it's not letting me do it. All right, there we go. There we go. All right.